Okay, so we've already talked about watching for information. So hopefully you've already watched it, because I cannot stress strongly enough that good educational video is not about the video, it's about how students interact with the video. So make sure you check out that section. But now, let's go to that good audio section. I have a section on microphones in our digital tools library. But just as a refresher, for microphones you can be one of a couple things. You could have a lavalier like I'm wearing, where it's clipped right onto my shirt and the sound goes right to you. Now in this case, I'm using that because my camera is probably 12 feet away from me. And a lavalier puts the microphone right here. That is great in a situation like this where I have an open environment. But 9 times out of 10, this is not the way to go. If I'm podcasting, just like you've seen every radio personality, just like you've seen every podcaster, they have that big old microphone and it's right here. That's a great tool if you're an audio file or if you're in an audio-based environment like a podcast or a radio show. That's not really necessary for educational videos. Can you have it? Sure. I have a great microphone with a pop screen on a swing stand, ready for me upstairs when I go do my video edits. But that's not what I use here, and I don't have to. One of your best microphones that you're going to use is right here. I have a podcast, and for my podcast, every interview I do, I simply find a generally quiet room. It doesn't even have to be super quiet. I set the phone right on the table, and I set relatively close in general conversation distance with the person I'm interviewing. And we simply talk right over the phone. Now, to be fair, given my voice and register, I set the phone closer to them than I do to me, because that picks up me a lot better than most folks. But the idea here is you paid good money for a good microphone. Use it. This is one of the great opportunities to use the technology you already have in your pocket to best use. Now, you say, well, I'm not doing audio or podcasts or things like that. No, but more than likely, you are doing video. And when I do video, there's a reason I have a microphone on this side when I'm doing video like this. And there's a reason that most phones have a microphone on this side or on the top for when I'm taking video on the other side of the phone. So audio here is a great tool right in your phone. So use this. That's not the only microphone you can use. If you use a document camera like this, almost every one of them has a microphone built in. Now, to be fair, this microphone is not great, but I also didn't spend very much money on this document camera. On the other hand, this is my school document camera, and it has a great microphone on it right there. And especially if I'm using it in its intended purpose and I'm writing right in front of it, that microphone is right here to pick up everything I'm saying. It's a great tool, and it's already built in to something I have. Okay, so microphones beyond that. To be fair, the one thing I require of all my students in all of my classes is not a calculator, and I teach math. The one thing I require of all my students in all my classes is a set of earbuds with a microphone right in the line. Here's why. That costs about $3, maybe $1 if you get a great deal, or $5 if you didn't. But every kid now has headphones that they can hear whatever's going on in my video. And the best thing about that is whatever audio I used, whatever microphone I used to bring the sound in, it's okay because they're hearing it right here. It covers over a lot of audio woes, and it makes it really easy for kids to hear. Do they have to have the Apple AirPods? No. Again, $3 to $5 for those earbuds with a microphone in line, that's huge in my classroom. Because you can tell me as an adult how many times you've seen a kid walking along with earbuds in or with the AirPods in, and they are in their own little world. They just went from an entire hallway of kids to absolutely focused on their world and where they're at. That's the power of audio. It allows them to unplug from the rest of the world by plugging it into their phone. And that's what we can use as a teacher to really hold their attention. So audio becomes hugely important. By the way, the other reason I have them have earbuds all the time in class, because I'm not the only one making content. I want students making content. And in their Chromebook or laptop, they have a microphone right up there, right beside their webcam in their Chromebook and or notebook. But you know what's even better? If that microphone is right here attached to those headphones. Because now that student can tell me in a Flipgrid what they think of a prompt that I gave them. They can tell me in their screencast exactly what they intended in their PowerPoint or slide presentation. They can tell me from recording their friend sitting right next to them as they digital whiteboard it or as they put it on a regular whiteboard. That camera on those headphones is a great tool for students, not to just listen or passively gain video knowledge, but to create video knowledge. So, if we have great video techniques for education, it starts with audio.